I like these. These are baked rice crisps from Mr. Crisper. No trans fats. 80 calories for 25 crackers. This was a big, huge bag. See what they look like? Nice little crisp thing. Big bag. I can't find them anywhere. This was a gift. I asked the person who gave them to me where she got them, and she got them at Walmart. And I hung my head because I don't shop at Walmart. I avoid it like the plague. I think it's a scourge. But this was just before Christmas, and I thought, well, I want some more Mr. Crispers for Christmas. And I had to go out that way. There's a great big huge Walmart not too far from where I live. One of those brand new ginormous things that opened about a year ago. And it's near where I get my hair cut. So I was out there getting my hair cut, and I could see Walmart looming off in the distance. And I thought, well, just go in and buy the bag of crackers and slink out and pretend it never happened. So I drive over, park in the parking lot. I look at all of the people. This was about 3 weeks before Christmas. Look at all the people coming and going, coming and going, coming and going. I hate Walmart. And I parked the car. I turned the car off. I sat in there for 5 minutes, gathering my strength. Bashed my head on the steering wheel. Got out. Walked over to the front door, hung my head, and went in. Place was crowded, full of people. Little greeter wanted me to take a cart, and I said, no thank you, I'm only here for one thing, then I'm gone. I finally found, the store is so big, I don't know how people stand it. I'm not a shopper either, I don't like it. So I go over and find where the chips and the crackers are. Walk up the 3 aisles dedicated to chips and crackers. Could I find Mr. Crispers? No, they didn't have any. I asked somebody, never heard of it. This is where they came from originally. So I thought, fine, you can leave and never buy anything. That's perfect. And then as I was walking back away from the aisle with the chips and stuff, I spied Sun Chips. And my husband had just said to me the day before, he just discovered Sun Chips and he would like to have some. So I pick up the bag and I walk out towards where the checkout places are, and I see this little display of pink mittens. And I had to get a present for someone who I didn't know, a child, and they were these miniature little pink mittens. So I pick up the pink mittens, they were 99 cents, and I got a little pink scarf for another 99 cents to go with the pink mittens. And then of course I see batteries, and I had some batteries, and I had no cart, I had no basket, nothing. So I had all of these things in my arms, and the crispers, no, they weren't crispers, they were Sun Chips, under my arm. And I went to the cash checkout. The lineup at the checkout went into the store. Every checkout was full, and I noticed to my right that they had a self-checkout, which I have never used before, because I think that we need to encourage jobs. And using a self-checkout eliminates a job. So I go, breaking all of the principles that I have, that I hold dear to me, I go, and I didn't even need to line up for the you check it out yourself place. So I read the instructions very carefully, and I scan my mitts, and I scan the scarf, and I scan the batteries, and everything works. I get my debit card out, and I swipe the debit card, and I'm looking around furtively, hoping I didn't see anybody, or nobody would see me in this store. And I put the things in the bag, and I stomp out to my car, and I get to the trunk, and I put the things in the trunk, and I notice I have the Sun Chips still under my armpit. I didn't pay for them. So I look around thinking, well, there's cameras everywhere. I'm sure they had a camera at the check it out yourself place, and they must have seen it, and the alarms are all going to be going off. I ignored it, put the crispers, the sun chips, into the trunk of the car, got in the car, and drove away. I went down the street about 2 miles, went into another store, did some shopping in another store, went back out to my car, opened my trunk, and there are the sun chips looking at me. So I get back in the car. I drive all the way back to that crowded Walmart parking lot, find a spot to park. I stomp back into the store. The place is like a zoo. I was so mad. So I go over to the customer service that has a huge lineup. I knew it was going to take at least 45 minutes to get over this. I have the sun chips in my little hot hand, and I see a teller sort of watching the you swipe it yourself area. I went over to her and I said, "I stole this." And she looks at me, her eyes I thought were going to pop right out of her head. I said, "I stole this about 45 minutes ago. I forgot to pay for it at this you check it yourself place." So I was thinking they were going to put the handcuffs on and drag me out. She laughed at me. She said, "Just go scan it, pay for it." That's it, that's all.